So did you compete as well in Taekwondo tournaments? And did you also,
I compete in Taekwondo extensively. I mean, at one point, I was so obsessed about competing and expanding my experience in martial arts. I did 12 tournaments in 1 year. And out
wow.
of those 12, eight were international. So I was competing every single month, uh, from being 14 times British champion, four gold medals at Europeans, and one gold medal at the Worlds, 1999 Argentina, as well as UK TAGB World Gold. So I competed extensively up to the age of about 26 when I was offered my first role in a film. And that's when, unfortunately, I had to let go of my focus and energy I was putting into competing, and discover this new passion, which were the movies. So at the age of 26, I let go of my competing, which was still fairly young to
Yeah.
stop competing. And that's when my film career started taking off.
I was going to ask you as well in a second, how did you get into the movie business? But you kind of beat me into that. But good on you for that one. But yeah, so how did you get into the movie business anyway? Was it something you always wanted to do? Was it after seeing Bruce Lee, Van Damme, Arnold, Stallone? Did they say, okay, so these guys can do all this, I'm going to do this as well? Is that where the inspiration came from?
Back of my mind and within my heart, of course I did. I had this inclination someday I would love to be an actor, because even prior to my first film, I was doing lots of advertising for my sponsors. I was heavily sponsored by different corporations through my competitive career. I was doing adverts for them. So I did some TV commercials. I did some still photography for these people. So I was familiar with media to an extent before I did my first film. But I graduated in business economics from Thames Valley University in West London. And when I got my degree, I was working for university itself for 4 years. And I remember this day, one of my colleagues phoned me up. She said, look, I just saw an advert in the papers. They're looking for stuntmen to go to Thailand for this film. So as soon as I heard this, I picked up the phone. I phoned up the production company. They took me on straight away. And they said, can you go to Thailand in 5 weeks from now for 3 months? So I quit my job. I quit my job straight away. And I thought, this is exciting time for me, exciting career. So I'm going to ensure I succeed in this. So I gave up any financial support I had from other jobs previously. I took off to Thailand for 3 months. That's when I met Scott Adkins. Scott Adkins played the lead bad guy in the film. Black Mask 2. It's
Oh yeah, yeah.
directed by Choi Hark, choreographed by Yun Woo Ping, who did Matrix 1, 2, and 3, and
Awesome.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So this was a phenomenal opportunity for me to get into this industry. But I initially went there as a stuntman, and I did first 2 weeks being on film set. They didn't utilize any of my skills because they didn't need stuntmen for this particular role. So I was getting a little bit frustrated, and I said, "Why don't you just write me in the script? Write another role." Yun Woo Ping and Choi Hart pulled me to the side, and they said, "Show us your skills. Show us what you can do." And I remember this very distinctly. I showed them some moves. They said, "Okay, we're going to write you in the script." So they wrote my role within in the script there and then. I went there as a stuntman. I came
Yeah.
back having had a big role, playing the henchman of Scott Adkins, his right hand man. So when I came back, I fell in love with the industry, and I wanted to expand my skills and develop myself as much as I possibly can, so I can expand my horizon, so I stand better chance at landing roles in future.
Well, you've done a phenomenal job. I saw some of the training videos with yourself and Scott Adkins, especially some ones where you both been a bit. It's quite, I wouldn't say comedic, but when you both stand there going "Whoa," and you're kicking the boards and everything, which is quite funny. But Scott,
Yeah.
honestly, one kick I remember seeing Scott Adkins do, and I was like, is this guy human, or is he like some type of, was he struck by lightning or something? When he did the famous Guyver kick in Undisputed 2, I had never seen that. And it's like, I always wondered this question with yourself and Scott Adkins. How on earth do you do everything without the use of wire work, CGI, and stuntmen? Because there's no problem for you, because you just cakewalk through all that training, which is absolutely amazing, Sylvia.
Well, I think as an artist, you have to offer something different and unique.
Yeah,
Then you stand a much bigger chance of landing yourself roles. And Scott was very clever from early on within his career. He developed his skills in gymnastics as well as martial arts. And he made a fusion between gymnastics and his martial arts skills to make you look very spectacular and sellable on screen, to make you look larger than life. And he did it really well. I think the only person that did it after him was Tony Jaa. I mean, when
Oh
Tony
yeah.
Jaa came out with his skills, everybody was like, wow, what is this, another level? But Scott was on par with him from day one. And that's what made him very unique and different from others.
That's absolutely fantastic. So, because when I went through your IMDb and I saw, oh, he's in this movie, this movie, this movie, this movie, and some of the people you got to work with was absolutely fantastic. But was it always, whenever you got a phone call saying, how would you like to work with Jet Li in the movie Unleashed? Did you just instantaneously, I'm sure like everybody would, you'd jump instantaneously at the chance, wouldn't you?
Of course. I mean, these guys have got a ton of experience behind them. So any experience of me working with them will rub off on me. It will certainly inspire me, motivate me to strive for better and higher, because we all need a role model. We all need someone to look up to. And I enjoy being role models to my students, but I too need role models that inspire me, motivate me to strive for better. The Jet Li role for Unleashed, funnily enough, over 800 people auditioned for that same role.
Wow.
I had three auditions for it. So when I finally got it, I was very happy that I had to go through such a hefty process before I landed myself that role. I had to audition three times, and there were over 850 people auditioning for that very role. So I was very chuffed when I had the opportunity to work with Jet Li, because I knew this was going to be a great learning curve and learning experience for me.
So, I mean, because Jet Li, he's exceptionally fast for his size and everything. Because he was obviously a wushu champion, wasn't he? And yeah, and you also worked with Jason Statham as well. This is I've always wondered, because I'm a huge Jason Statham fan. What's he like working? Is he very serious? Because you barely see him smile very often, Statham. But is he like that? Is he Frank Martin off camera as he is on camera, or is he like one of the
He can be
lads?
quite serious. He likes his photography. He brings his camera with him. He takes photographs of the film set. He brings his big, massive camera with him, takes photographs. But he swears an awful lot when he's on film set. He swears an awful lot. Now, when it came
Swears.
to rehearsals, he didn't turn up to any of the rehearsals. Basically, someone would come along with a camcorder. They would
Yeah,
record the fight sequence. He would watch it in his bedroom. He
yeah.
would turn up on film set and pull it off. So he had phenomenal ability to learn off the tape and pull it off on film set without any prior rehearsals. Whereas most of the other guys, we had to rehearse for a whole week before we started even shooting.
Statham,
So
with Jason Statham, most people don't know that he is actually an acclaimed martial artist himself, isn't he? He's quite trained in mixed martial arts, Brazilian jiu-jitsu,
this
kickboxing.
came afterwards. This came afterwards. He was Olympic diver,
Oh yeah,
Olympic
yeah, I remember
swim
that. Yeah,
diver. The martial arts came much later. Obviously, he was landing himself roles in action films, so he had to expand his skills in other areas. Just like Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy picked up BJJ after his career took off. But I auditioned Tom Hardy for the Warrior film.
oh, classic
At this
movie that
stage,
is.
he had zero experience in martial arts, so we had to go through the sequences for the production to see how well he's going to pull it off. Now, when it came to his physique, I mean, he transformed his physique very quickly over time. But I think with martial arts skills, they take a little bit longer to mature than
That is
to
true.
build a physique.
That is true. And you've obviously in Undisputed 2, you worked with Michael Jai White. And what was Michael? Because recently when I spoke to Maurice Crump, he goes, Michael was like an older brother to him. But did you get the chance to meet Michael Jai White on set as well? You have met him a few times, haven't you?
I meet Michael J. White at least 2-3 times every year. We
Oh,
were at
awesome.
events recently. I'm going to see him again in November, and then January next year. He goes to the same events as me. We did 3 productions together. Another one was Metal Hurlant Chronicles, so I was very familiar with him even before that. We met each other at lots of events. He's another guy who's phenomenal martial artist for a physique that he has. He's a
Yeah.
massive
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
His flexibility is phenomenal as well. So he's very inspiring to work with too. And I think this is something I would like to add is most of these big legends that I've worked with have served me in a very positive way, because it inspires me, motivates me to strive for higher and better.
Yeah, because I did see a picture of yourself with the governor, well, Arnold himself. And what was Arnold Schwarzenegger like to work with? Because everyone who's worked with him said he's very kind, he's very generous, and he's always got a cigar in his mouth. Did he offer you a cigar by any chance? You're like, no, Arnold, I have to look after this.
I didn't. I actually met Arnold Schwarzenegger in Ohio.
Oh,
Arnold
nice.
Classics. This is the bodybuilding show. where more people turn up for Arnold Classics than Olympics. It was absolutely huge event. So yes, I met him twice. Not because we worked together or had any projects together that we work on, but we're just in the same circle of friends who know each other, and I got invited to come along, and that's how we met. Thoroughly nice guy. I was completely starstruck when I met him because he was one of those guys who inspired me on multiple levels as a child.
Oh yeah, Arnold always has that effect on people, and he still does today as well. I mean, I had to like people used to ask me, like younger generation, when they see that, it goes, "How did you get inspiration growing up?" And when we didn't have smartphones, we had a landline. We got out and about. We interacted with people. We watched movies where there was a larger than life hero who would just who would just smash unbeatable odds. And it's true. That's what him, Stallone, Longren, Van Damme, they always did that, didn't they? And even with Steven Seagal, they beat unbeatable odds to come out on top, and that's the lesson you always had to learn from them. And also,